Hi everyone, it's Natalie, and today I will be coloring this drawing of a cat that I made earlier with some Prismacolor colored pencils. The package of Prismacolor pencils looks like this. In case any of you are interested, you can find them at craft stores such as Hobby Lobby and Michael's, or you can just get them on Amazon. Again, these are Prismacolor colored pencils. They're amazing. Today I'll be starting with the eyes of this cat because I think the eyes are one of my most favorite things to draw in color. So let's begin. I'm going to not start with colored pencils right now, and instead I'm using a Copic multiliner, which is basically just a black ink pen. And I like using this for the eyes because I can color in the darkest part of the eyes, being the pupil, which I'm doing right now. So I'm drawing this cat because I found a picture on Google Images of a cat earlier that I thought was really beautiful, so I'm drawing it. That's part of my inspiration for this piece in particular, but question to the commenters, what's your favorite pet or animal? It doesn't have to be a conventional pet, it can be anything. Alright, now I'm going to add some color to the eyes. This cat in particular has yellowish green eyes, so I'm going to draw that because it's really pretty. A few of the colors that I'll be using to color the eyes are, here, let me get them together. I'm going to be using some yellows, including a golden yellow, some browns, a green, and a black for the darkest part. Okay, I see in the comments you guys are asking for my favorite animal. My favorite animal, I say, would be a manatee. I personally really like manatees because they look really huggable and they're sweet. Unfortunately, they can be too sweet at times and get caught in the motors of some boats, which actually drove them to be on the endangered list, but I believe they were removed from that list recently, so that's really good. Someone asks, why are you coloring the black in the eyes first? I'm doing this because since I colored the black with ink, it was important that I put that down first because the ink doesn't settle well on the page whenever it's on top of a waxy colored pencil. It works much better whenever it's straight on the paper by itself, because with the wax, the paper wouldn't be able to absorb the ink. Add some light colors. I forgot to put white in that first handful of colors that I showed you for the eyes. I'm going to add a touch of green to give the eyes some more variance in the color. Shannon asks, do you have cats? Oh no, I wish I had a cat actually, but I don't. I just have a dog. Now I'm coming in with some brown to create some of the darker shading of the eye. The brown is a nice transition between yellow and black, since like transitioning yellow straight to black can be really difficult. Shannon asks what kind of dog. My dog is a mutt of several different species, different breeds of dogs. You can see a picture of her on my Instagram. I think I have a picture of her on there, or a picture or two, but she's really adorable. I'd say she's mostly a yellow lab though, and retriever. That's probably the most prominent breed in her. Christina asks, is this a drawing of someone's cat? Yes, I found this drawing on Google Images. I forgot what search I made to look for it, but I saved it to my computer earlier. But it's just a general stock image of a cat that I thought was really pretty. Now Melissa asks, do you like drawing cats? I do. They're a lot of fun, especially the eyes in my opinion, because cat eyes are just so large and there's a variance of color. To the person that was asking about my dog earlier, if you're still watching, you probably just heard her bark in the background. Joseph asks, how did you learn to draw? I learned to draw over time just by lots of practice and just looking at tutorial videos online and gathering tips from different artists. It's very helpful. Speaking of tips, someone in the comments just asked any tips for drawing symmetrical faces. My tips to you would be don't necessarily try to draw an entire face at once when practicing. Focus on drawing different features of the face, like for example, if you have a sketchbook, take one page of your sketchbook just to practice drawing noses, another page to draw eyes and lips, teeth, etc. By doing that, you can really focus on parts of the face that you don't feel look symmetrical, because I mean the nose, if you mess up the symmetry on the nose, you can mess up the symmetry on the face. One thing that's really challenging that I've experienced in the past is trying to draw both eyes symmetrically. That can be kind of difficult. So whenever you draw eyes and practice drawing those, make sure you draw both of them. I mean, it's always fun to draw one eye occasionally, but try to draw both because it'll help you practice your symmetry on mirroring a certain image. Rachel asks, when did you start drawing? I started drawing in middle school, however, I never began drawing portraits and other things like realistic animals until about 8th or 9th grade. Okay, now from the eyes I'm going to begin to draw the fur, primarily the fur that surrounds the eyes of this cat. Melissa asks, are there any other good colored pencils besides Prismacolors? I would say this brand called Faber-Castell, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, you can find it at Hobby Lobby and Michael's next to Prismacolors. I'd say that their colored pencils are pretty good. I believe they're slightly cheaper than Prismacolor, which is nice, but I've had good experiences using those. I haven't bought a whole lot of them yet though. For all of you in the comments, my Instagram is Cygann with an extra N, spelled C-Y-G-A-N-N. However, I do have the link in the description of this video. I don't know if you can view the link while you're watching the video, but I believe that there's a way around that. I don't necessarily know it because I'm currently doing this on a phone, not on the computer, but just look around. Marcy asks, what's the best way to learn shading? I would practice with regular graphite pencils or just generic or inexpensive colored pencils such as Crayola pencils, and practice on shapes that you're comfortable with, such as circles. I would mostly work with circles because a lot of the things that you'll draw of organic shapes will have curves such as a human face or animals. Or you can just start with the outline of a human face. If you want to work on shading and not have to worry about outlines and actually drawing a human face, you could probably go print out a outline of a human face and try to color that in. Look at photo references to shade, blend, use your eraser. Not everything is just like one just one smooth blend. There, especially in a face, there's different like fields of your face to where some areas are lighter than the other, and it's not just one huge curve. Rachel says, what is your favorite animal to draw? I don't really know. I drew a bee a few days ago, which I thought was really fun. I've drawn some manatees in the past. I'd have to say the manatees were my favorite though, because they're just so fun. That picture's on my Instagram. It's a little old, but I'm sure you could find it if you went there. Okay. This cat is going to have a mixture of different fur colors, including white, black, and brown. Tara asks, how long have you been drawing? I've been drawing since middle school. Oh, Melissa also asks, what paper are you using? I'm using toned gray paper by, I believe Strathmore is the brand. I bought it in a sketchbook because it's nice and portable. I'm really pleased with this paper because it makes realistic drawings just pop so much more whenever you add colors on the page. I wouldn't recommend working with markers on this due to the fact that the markers kind of just leak into the paper and the colors will be darker. But as for colored pencils, the colored pencil is waxy and it sits on top of the paper, so therefore you see the full color. For example, this white pencil, you can see the full color of the white on the paper. Okay, I'm going to add some color to the nose before I forget. So I'm going to start with this pink color. Nella asks, do you sell any of your artwork? I do. If you're interested in commissions or buying any of the artwork that I've already produced, please send me a private message on Instagram and I will respond to you. Now, Elizabeth, she has a sister who is into drawing, and she's wondering what a good gift for drawing would be in the comments. Your sister, she likes drawing Disney characters. Well, how old is your sister? That's very important when considering a gift for someone. But in general, for people as artists, I mean, this is open to anyone in the comments, not just for Elizabeth. But good gifts would be colored pencils such as these Prismacolor pencils that you can find on Amazon. They're really nice. I enjoy them a lot. Or just get a sketchbook or a pad of paper. A unique gift I would say is tone gray paper, because it's something that not a lot of people may choose whenever they're buying paper at the store. And if you give it to someone as a gift, they'll be inclined to try it. And I mean, I wasn't sure about how much I'd like it whenever I first used it, but after using it, I've come to really like tone gray paper. Sketchbooks can be rather inexpensive. They can be from like $8 to $10 maybe at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby has some really inexpensive art gifts. Another thing that is much appreciated by artists are ink pens. One brand that is really nice is Micron. Micron is a nice ink pen brand. For the person drawing Disney characters, this would be very nice for them because of the fact that Disney characters, I mean, I don't know how they draw them. Is it realistic or cartoony? Ink pens are great because you can outline all the characters. Ramona asked, how long does it take to draw these? A picture like this can take anywhere from like an hour to an hour and a half. However, larger paintings take a lot longer. Maddie asks what brand of colored pencils these are. These are Prismacolor colored pencils. Okay, to answer Elise, what is the difference between Prismacolor pencils and regular color pencils? I would say that the grade of, I guess you would call this like I mean, it's not lead, but the inside of the pencil is a lot better than regular color pencils such as Crayola. The wax in them, it blends well with other colors. However, I don't know the exact technicalities of it, but these Prismacolor pencils, they blend a lot more smoothly than others. You can blend these in, and after creating a thick layer of one pencil, you can almost like add more to it and blend it in, almost like paint. It's really interesting. It's something that's really difficult to explain, but if you were to use them, you'd understand. If any of you in the comments have used Prismacolors, feel free to put your feedback on them in the comment section. Cassandra asks, can you draw people as well? Yes, I can. I love drawing people. Drawing people is my favorite thing to do. If you're interested in seeing some of the people drawings I've done, check out my Instagram. That's probably most of what I've done, so you'll see lots of pictures of it. Oh, another question. Would the white show on white paper as well in regard to colored pencils? The white, whenever you apply it just directly on white paper, you probably won't see it because of the fact that it's white paper, but if you have a lot of other colors and then you try to use white to make it lighter, the white will indeed make the color lighter and you can blend with it. However, you're not going to get the same effect as if you were to put acrylic white paint on top of colored pencil. Again, for everyone in the comments, my Instagram is Cygann with an extra N, Cygann. The link is in the description of this video. Kat asks, what made you start drawing? What made me start drawing whenever I was younger was probably just my love of things in general. Like, I would draw characters that I really liked in the past, and that was just a way of expressing my likeness for them, I guess. But over time, I've just really come to enjoy drawing and just the act of it. So I've kind of catered my skills towards drawing different things, and I haven't stopped ever since. Teresa asks, would you approach drawing human eyes in the same way as the cat eyes in this picture? Yes, I do, except the human eyes, they have different details than the cat eyes. But yes, in the same general steps, I would. Kat asks if she can purchase drawings by me. Yes, you can purchase my drawings. Just send me a private message on Instagram and I'll get back to you. Don't leave inquiries in the comments on my Instagram pictures because I probably won't be able to find them, especially if it's an older picture. Sarah asks, do you use blenders? I do not. I wish I had one. I know that Prismacolor, they make a colorless blender. I saw my friend at school use one and I thought it was pretty cool. I haven't purchased one yet. However, I would like to. Or if you're referring to the tortillions, those rolled paper blenders, I use those for pencil drawings, but not for colored pencils. To Amanda in the comments, I do make custom drawings for people. If you're interested, please contact me on Instagram, send me a direct message. Don't comment on the pictures because that can be difficult to find. But yeah, to anyone, if you're interested in purchasing my artwork, please contact me. To Emma in the comments, yes, I can draw specific pictures. To Sarah, does black blended with white always have a blue hue? No, it doesn't always. Right now I can see that from the video and on the paper there's a discrepancy between the color. On my paper it doesn't look as blue as it does in the video. That's probably just due to the reflection, the lighting, and the fact that this is cool gray. Prismacolor, they make different types of grays. This is cool gray, so it's a lot cooler than a warm gray, which, I mean, if you look at it, this is cold. If you look at another one, it's more a warmer tone. Which is like on the brownish side, it'll make it look less blue. But yeah, that's a good question. Teresa asks, do you also use watercolors along with colored pencils? Not in this, no, I'm not using watercolors, but a lot of the time my works are mixed medium where I use a variety of things such as colored pencil, watercolor, ink, and even acrylic. Later in this, I'm going to use acrylic paint on the eyes to make them shiny. I'm just going to finish up a bit on the hair first. Oops, that broke. Teresa asks, do you use any type of sealers once you finish the picture? On my paper drawings, I don't use sealers. However, on my paintings, which are on canvases, I do use sealers. I usually use a gloss coating because of the fact that not only does it seal everything and protect it from water, but I feel like the gloss, it brings out the blacks a bit more, which I really like because I use acrylic paints, which can be kind of dull and matted whenever they dry, but the gloss coat is a way around that. I've seen this asked a few times more. Are you drawing from a photo? Yes, I am. I'm drawing from this cat photo that I found earlier today on Google Images. I don't remember what I searched, but I saved the picture to my computer and I'm looking at it right now. It's just a stock photo with a pretty cat on it. Right now I'm adding some orange into the fur just to add some more variance in color. Kathy asks, how long have you been doing these types of drawings? I've been drawing realistic people and things probably since the end of 8th grade, beginning of 9th grade. Teresa asks, what is your favorite mixed medium you enjoy working with? One thing that I really enjoy working with is a combination of Copic markers, which is all alcohol-based ink, and colored pencils, primarily Prismacolor. Because after I color something with the Copic ink, I can easily draw over it with the Prismacolor pencils, which are really cool because of the fact that I can add in more details such as small folds or wrinkles or anything like that. So just something that the ink brush cannot get to. Lisa asks, how long have you been drawing this picture? I've been drawing it, I've been coloring since 9:30 tonight. I drew this earlier today though, like the pencil outline of it But the pencil outline, it didn't take me long. Probably like, I don't know, 10 minutes. Someone asked, who inspired you to continue to draw and get better through the years? I'd say just like looking at other artists on the internet, on places such as Instagram, DeviantArt, or YouTube even. Just like seeing what people can do with art. Not just like artists from the internet, but also like looking at art in museums, and I guess just art in general has inspired me because of the fact that art holds such a deep importance in the history of humanity. I thought it'd be really cool to continue that and make my own art. Cheryl asks, do pencils smear? These, they don't smear easily, but you can make them smear if you tried, such as applying like a blender, or I guess like if you were to rub really hard with your thumb or finger, you could probably make them smear. Tanya asks, do you sell your pictures? Yes, I do. If you're interested, contact me on Instagram via direct message. Okay, I'm going to add some highlights to the eyes right now. And to do that, I'm going to use acrylic paint, since acrylic paint is entirely opaque and it will cover all the colored pencil. The brand I'm using is Americana acrylic paint. You can find this at Hobby Lobby. It's really inexpensive. I highly recommend it for things like this. Teresa asks, let me see, have you tried any other alcohol-based marker, and if so, what brands is Copic markers? Oh, sorry. Have I tried any other brands? I have. I've briefly used Prismacolor ink pens in the past. Those are very good. However, I just prefer Copic. The Prismacolor ones are slightly less expensive though, which is really nice. I'd recommend them both. I just prefer Copic because I've been using Copic for a long time, and I think there are more Copic colors. I could be wrong though. I know that there's this new brand of alcohol-based pens that's out in craft stores now. I see it all the time next to the Prismacolors and the Copics. I don't know the brand name on that, and I have not used them, so I don't have any recommendation for those. You can find markers that are alcohol-based, but way cheaper. I'm talking like you can find like a package of 48 for $20. Those usually are just like small off brands. They're good for beginners, and I would strongly recommend a beginner in markers to purchase those just to get an understanding of how ink works. But for someone who's looking to make more complex drawings and has been drawing for a long time, I would recommend getting Copic or Prismacolor. Kayla asks, how long have you been doing this? I've been drawing since middle school. However, I've been drawing people, animals, and such since 8th or 9th grade. Can't really pinpoint it. It's probably between the two, the summer between 8th and 9th grade. Estella asks, do you like to paint people or animals? I love painting people and animals, but I primarily paint people because that's my favorite thing to draw and paint. There's just so much beauty I find in the human body, and it's the most relatable thing, honestly. So I like drawing it. It can be really challenging at sometimes, but it's also the most rewarding. Eileen asks, do you prefer to paint portraits or landscapes? I definitely prefer to paint portraits. I've actually never painted a landscape before. I'd like to though, because I think they're really pretty. It's just, I have a hard time painting things like buildings compared to organic shapes, such as faces or animals. But as for like natural landscapes, I've never been into it. Okay, I'll put the paint away now, and I'm going to move back to the hair. And asks, if someone sent you a picture of their pets, could you paint them for them? Yes, I can, and if you're interested in having that done of your pets, please contact me on Instagram via direct message, and I will discuss it with you. Sierra asks, do you use any other types of mediums? On this piece in particular, I've only used an ink pen for the dark spots on the eye and white acrylic paint for the highlights, but other than that, it's all Prismacolor colored pencils. My other artwork that I do, that you can see on my Instagram, I use ink such as Copic markers, I use acrylic paints. Like, I'll have entire paintings with acrylic. I've also used watercolors, however, that's really rare. I would like to do videos using watercolors again because they're a lot of fun to work with. To Sarah, since you don't have Instagram, is there a different way to contact you? You can email me. I know that I didn't put my email in this, but I'll come back later and reply to your comment with my email. It's kind of long to read out. My Instagram is in the description of this video. And unfortunately, no, I do not have a Facebook page. To all of you in the comments wanting the email, I'll go through later tonight or tomorrow morning and reply to your comments with my email for you. Teresa asks, do you have a muse that brings inspiration to you when you have a block? Oh, I wish. That would be nice. But, inspiration, sometimes it can be really difficult to find, in my opinion. Like, there's days where I go, like, uninspired for drawing for a while, but then, like, just sometimes it comes back to me, and it comes in waves. However, like, forcing yourself to draw and, like, making an effort to do it can help as well, because while drawing, sketching, or just even looking at art while you're uninspired, you can find inspiration there and find something that you really want to make. Sarah asks, will this video be available tomorrow? The Facebook Live videos are always available. You can always come back to the channel and watch them. However, to be able to find it quickly, you could always bookmark this page with the video. Just make sure that you have the specific video selected and it's not just part of the feed. Otherwise, you probably won't get the link to the video. Now, Sheena asks, have you ever done a zebra? If not, could you? That's actually a very good idea, to draw a zebra. I might do that one of these days. Yeah, I love reading your guys' comments because I can find inspiration from them. I can have good ideas for drawings. Just if you have something peculiar that you think you can see me drawing, just say it. Who knows, I might draw it one day. I can't guarantee that. Keep that in mind. To Trina, say hi to your kids, Penny, Ryder, and Robin. Hi guys. To Amy, I am currently a senior in high school. Well, I haven't started my senior year yet, technically, because it's summer, but I have finished my junior year, so yeah, between the junior and senior. Estella asks, do you like cats or are you doing it just for fun? I'm doing it out of both. I like cats and it's a lot of fun to draw. I kind of wish I had a cat because they're pretty cool. I mean, I want like one of those like really friendly cats, but I mean, sometimes you can get unlucky and get a mean cat. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to draw cats and I like them, so yeah. To Brittany, what sharpener do you use for your Prisma pencils? Mine are all worn down, and whenever I try to sharpen them, it just chews them up. Yeah, unfortunately, many pencil sharpeners, especially cheaper ones, they can definitely just eat up your Prismacolor pencils, which is really frustrating since like it's essentially ruining the pencil and wasting perfectly good not wax, but pencil that you could have used on a drawing. The pencil sharpener that I'm using, it's kind of faded away, but it's this one. I got it from my art teacher in 9th grade because he had a whole bunch of them and he was like, oh, here, have one. I was like, okay. But this one works really well. It's made in Germany. From what he said German made pencil sharpeners are the best. So I mean, those aren't my words, those are my 9th grade art teachers. But like, don't just buy the ones at the store that have like the colorful plastic containers. Typically always buy the ones that are metal and on their own. To Cassie, do you have any certain techniques of your own that you do? In this, not particularly. One thing I do okay, never mind, is I always shade my colors, and a lot of times I'll start with the lightest color first and shade from there. However, whenever I'm coloring something like fur that has a variance in colors, I kind of just draw the first strokes as is. But yeah, most of the things I do, it requires shading, so I always start from lightest colors and then I work my way down to the darkest. And then after finishing the coloring on one part, if it's reflective or it needs like some extra lightness or highlight to it, I'll apply some white acrylic paint on it. To Estella, yes, I have a reference picture. It is a picture of a very beautiful cat that I found on Google Images earlier today. I saved it to my computer and I'm working off of it. Unfortunately, I do not remember what I was searching to find this cat. I wish I did because it's a really pretty cat and I wish you guys could see it. I mean, you can see a drawing of it, but it's not exactly the same. To Michelle from Australia, the best way to learn how to draw is just practice. Practice, practice, practice. Since you have access to the internet, take advantage of that. Look at art a lot, study the techniques and the way that an artist creates the illusion of depth on a canvas or a piece of paper. Practice it for yourself, get a sketchbook, draw things over and over again, especially if it's something that you're going to draw a lot, such as people. Practice drawing features such as eyes, lips, noses. Look at different references and tutorial videos because different people can give different strengths and advice, such as like one person can be really good at advising you how to draw eyes while another's really good at telling you how to draw noses. Just look around on the internet, use your resources. Oh, a comment I missed from earlier from Teresa. Will you study art or graphic design in college, and what college would you like to attend? Oh boy, a big question. Okay, actually, I'm not entirely sure if I'll be studying art in college. Currently, I want to major in computer science because that's something else that I do, and there's a lot I have to learn there. So I would like to go to college for it. The reason for that is that I love technology and I want to be a part of developing technologies in this world. I feel like, it may seem like a really weird combination, like an artist that wants to study computer science, but I think art, it's been so much more to me than just being able to produce nice pictures, because I've learned a lot from it, just like studying art and understanding like how to connect with a person, because art, in my opinion, is what makes us authentically human, and by implementing certain artistic qualities into like technology, we can make it so much of a better experience for us. Okay, it looks like you guys really want to see this cat, so later I will try to go find it in my history tab. No, I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm busy, as you can see, but if I remember, I'll go and reply to your comment. Okay, it looks like I'm almost out of time. I didn't have enough time to finish this cat, but that's okay. I will finish it and I'll put the finished product on my Instagram later tonight or tomorrow morning. I don't know, that depends. Make sure you go follow me on Instagram. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again sometime soon. Bye.